Hello one, and hello all one more time here on your afternoon drive. Live with Maponga J here, broadcasting from South Africa, Johannesburg. We are excited and we're happy to host you again as we are discussing here together with us the African problems, African medicine, African fashion, and African, foodstuffs, pharmaceuticals, and everything else between. The whole idea is to get the African people beginning to talk about our African problems and seeking for those critical African solutions. I'm excited and I'm happy again to be here. Yes, I'm still in prison, but I did some magic at the back there and managed to smuggle my way into this space so that we can talk again. If there was a live sentence in his Facebook, I think I would have been one of the first persons. They would have locked me in prison and given me a permanent life imprisonment in the Facebook space. But we keep on trying because that's what we have so far, until our African young people come up with solutions around the social media space and other formats of communication which can make it and facilitate a faster, better, Afrocentric way of talking. We are stuck here. And for the next couple of days, my focus will be strictly very intentional, as I want to address a few issues in Zimbabwe for a very strategic reason, because as African countries, it looks like many of us have an obsession with this democratic Africa, let's do democracy. But many of us, in the excitement of democracy, we seem not to understand exactly what is involved in terms of this democracy. Now, democracy is not it's not of African origin. I've read one or two papers where people are arguing that this was a process that Africans used to use and etc. No, I would rather call it a consultative governance where African leaders would group each other up and then they speak to the king. So it was consultative. But this democracy concept where people must vote and etc., here we are with an African continent from Ghana to South Africa being said that it is democratic. But immediately when you become democratic, it simply means that you are agreeing to neo-colonialism. Now, I read a very interesting article this afternoon and I decided, no, I can't keep quiet, from one of our favorite journalists from Zimbabwe by the name of Mr. Chingono. He's a famous journalist. He has been in prison a couple of times under the Mugabe regime and under the Mnangagwa regime for his outright, challenging of the government and everything that goes there between. Tag him, please, if you know who he is. There's Mr. Chingono. I think that must be his name. And this afternoon, he puts out a notice on his page that says land acquisition in Zimbabwe was not done the right way. Now, follow carefully. You can go on his page. It's written there. He's arguing that the land in Zimbabwe was, when Mugabe took the land, he did not do it the right way. And I'm still waiting for him. When I was reading the article, I wanted him to tell us what is the right way of taking land from colonizers. Because when they took the land from the black people, they also did not take it the right way. There was no negotiation. There was no table where the local people were consulted and were told, move away from your land and go into the bush, into the deserts, into the dry lands, into the Mindamirefu, where they knew that it was non-productive. Now, when we are supposed to take back the land, we must do it the right way. This is the kind of mindset that I don't appreciate, particularly from our African people, who, when you are dealing with white people, you must put on white gloves. But when white people are dealing with us, they are holding swords and they are holding guns, they are killing and they are shooting and they are taking. When an African must take back what belongs to him, you must do it the right way. Hell no, hell no. What is the right way of taking land from a colonizer? And I want to tell you up on your face, Mr. Chingono, there is no right way of taking land from a colonizer. If land was taken without law, it will be taken back by the black people without law. We don't need to negotiate our existence, our heritage, and our land with colonial people. Oh, because when you took the land, you lost the flavor, you lost the confidence of the colonial system. Now they no longer put money to you because they don't trust you as Africans. Have they ever trusted the Africans? Can I ask Mr. Chingono, has the white man ever had confidence on a black man? So please, Honorable Chingono, go slowly when it comes to talking these things. Maybe you're in Britain, maybe you're in America, doing your master's degree and etc. And you don't know what happened when land was taken away from black people. I was in Zimbabwe. I saw with my own eyes, white people shooting our cattle, breaking our grandmothers' ribs, our parents running away from their land into secure places. And we're busy studying your master's and your doctorate. And now you come back and you want to say, let's find a nice way of collecting land. Land was taken violently. Land was taken in a military act. Land was not negotiated. Land was not taken in a nice way. And there's no way you can get up on the social media space and say the Mugabe did not do it the right way. The right way was that after 25 years, the Lancaster Agreement should have been effected. And the effecting of the Lancaster Agreement meant that black people were supposed to own their own land. But they thought, the British government, that in 25 years, Mugabe will have had 2 terms, 3 terms at most. You would no longer be in power. A new government that they can negotiate with will be in power that needs donor money from the Western countries. And shocking to them, Mugabe was still in power at the expiry of the 25 years. And when he took the land, Britain refused to pay for the land, refused to honor the indigenous people. And you come around and say, it was not taken the right way. Oh, well, smoke your pipe for all you care. African land belongs to Africans. It does not need to be taken in a good way or in a bad way. Because even when you go to Britain, Mr. Chingono, you will not have British land the right way. You can buy your house. I was there. I lived there for 5 years. You can buy your house, but you can't own what is under the house, what is on top of the house. You can only own the house. But when they come to Africa, they want to own the house. They want to own what is underneath the house. They want to own what is on top of the house. And you still tell me in 2021 that land was not taken the right way. I beg to differ. African land belongs to Africans. And if land of Africa, the land of Africa was taken away from the Africans without law, without order, without negotiations, how do you take that land back? Now you must go through the courts. Courts of what? The courts of law. Who writes the law? Is the German, it is the Romans, it is the Dutch people. How do you negotiate to collect your land using a colonial rule to own your own land back? I want to tell you, this is a revolution. This is war. This is not negotiations. This is war. If you point a gun at me, I'll point a gun at you. If you point a sword at me, I'll point a sword at you. And if you kill me, I'll kill you too. That is order. How can you want me to become a gentleman and when you are not acting like a gentleman? How do you want me to act civilized when you are not acting in a civilized fashion? How do you want me to negotiate when you are not prepared to negotiate? Right now, Zimbabwe is under sanctions. That is war. It was not taken the right way. What right way are you talking about of taking back land from colonizers? If it was according to me, was it not of the Bible? By now we'll have killed the white people and sent them back home because they killed us to have the same land. I don't give a hoot. They might even block me on this Facebook page for all I care. They killed our forefathers so that they can have land. There is nothing wrong when we kill the white man so that we can have the same land back to ourselves. It's a war. It's a war of dignity. It's a war of heritage. It's a war of land. It's a war for our children. And there's no way we can negotiate with colonialists on the ownership of our land, our resources, our minerals, and our ground. Go home and sleep about it. Think about it. I don't care. I might not love Mugabe, but on the issue of him taking the land from the British government and making it available to the Africans, I salute him. I salute him for that because it takes a revolutionary of that mindset to restore land back to the people. Jamaicans are crying. Chinese are taking land. British government And the Queen of London has crown land in Jamaica when Jamaicans are living in slums. South Africa, its land is still in the hands of the colonialists. South Africans are living in slums and in shacks. Soweto, Devon, Danzane, Cape Town, Guguletu, name it. And you tell me you must negotiate. You must be civilized. Is the capitalist civilized? Is the colonialist civilized? Are these white people civilized? Why do we always want to negotiate and talk around issues of such magnitude? This is Africa. Africa belongs to the Africans. Mr. Chingono, go back to your school. Go back to your notes. Think with your head. Don't get infatuated with the neo-colonialistic ideologies of telling me to negotiate with the colonizer, because you must now talk to the bank, you must now talk to the insurance company, you must now talk to this, you must go to the court of law, you must get title deeds, and etc. Our people don't have title deeds. When I was born, my grandmother took my umbilical cord and buried it into the ground. That's my title deed. I own the land where my umbilical cord is buried on. That's my deposit for the land I will live in. So don't come around with some neo-colonialistic ideologies of trying to become politically correct. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. I hope this video reaches you, Mr. Chingono, in the privacy of your homes. You and Chamisa. Chamisa, I need to talk to you. Do not think that by partnering and going to bed with colonialists over the sanctions and the policies of Zimbabwe on a radical political land reformation and land reform strategies that will become popular. It will not happen. Land is already in the hands of the black people. We are not giving it back to the colonialists. Come hellfire. Go and smoke your pipe. Find the closest lake and jump in it and drown yourself. African land belongs to Africans. They took it without law. We will take it without law. So get your head back in Africa, sir. Maybe you're still sipping coffees and sipping some small little wines when you're sitting in Manchester and etc. and you think you're in Europe. Chingono, wake up in your head. Wake up in your head. Chamisa, wake up in your head. Wake up in your head. Sanctions against Zimbabwe do not reduce food for the ZANU-PF and the top brass in the country. The strategy they hope to do, you put a country under sanctions. When a country in sanctions, then the people must revolt. When the people revolt, then they will give money to the one who is coming up and they give him the policies to implement. Then you end up with another surrogate government. It becomes a vicious cycle of changing hyenas with foxes. I'm not mixing my words. I'm pulling out my guns. If you have a better idea of how colonial land can be taken back to the Africans, please write the strategy. No, you're supposed to call the willing buyer, willing seller, then call them to a conference, then organize money, then they must agree to sell. How do you sell land which you never bought? At what value? At what value? At the value of the developments. What developments? You have been robbing the country for 100 years. What developments? You deprived the people of usage of their own land. Now I must negotiate with you to buy land from you as a local person over the land you took away from me without me agreeing. You benefited from the land for 150, 200 years. Now I come around, I must buy my land from you. You must be sick in your head. Sick in your head, Chingono. Sick in your head. If no one told you, I'll tell you on your face. You don't do that. You don't do that. You walked on me the wrong way today. You don't negotiate with a colonizer. You don't negotiate with a white man over issues of land, because they know land holds minerals, land holds water, lands hold agriculture, lands hold forestry, lands hold accommodation, land holds infrastructure, lands hold roads. Without land, the government has nothing. I can tell the African governments all around, you can kill all other ministries. The only ministry that must be running is the Ministry of Land, because without land, you are typists, rigma and political sloganeering politicians. Once you have land, you have your hands on the balls, on the nuts of the colonial system. Because when you have land, you have access to resources and you can rewrite your history. Zimbabwe has done that. I may not fully agree with the political system, but on the issue of land, here I stand. Kill me if you can. Zimbabwean land belongs to Zimbabweans. We don't care of all the political rigmaroles and political slogans you can put around. Zimbabwean lands belongs to Zimbabweans. Malawian land belongs to Malawians. Ghanaian land belongs to Ghanaians. Nigerian land belongs to Nigerians. And African land belongs to Africans. I can't say that louder than that. So stop thinking you can put on your small little bow tie and walk up to white people and you can talk to them and negotiate issues of land. They'll bring up banking, they bring up sureties, they'll bring up international investor confidence, they'll bring up this and this. Hell no, they can take their confidence and go to hell. Go to hell with your confidence. We have our minerals, they give us confidence. We have our gold, it gives us confidence. We have our platinum, it gives us confidence. We have our agriculture, it gives us confidence. As long as we can feed ourselves as Africans, that's our confidence. We don't need to work on borrowed money, donor money to give us confidence. Confidence of the West for what? When we were fighting, where were they? Where was their confidence? Where was American confidence? Where was British confidence? For all we care, the British government was giving military weapons to the Smith regime to further oppress the Africans. Today they come around, let's negotiate how we can have land. You don't negotiate with an oppressor. You don't negotiate with an oppressor. Was it not of the Bible that says, thou shalt not kill? I will be at war myself to clean up the country of the colonialists that are in the country and refusing to let go the land to the indigenous people. We cannot negotiate land issues with colonialists. We cannot negotiate. It's a waste of time. They have demonstrated for the longest time they are not interested in negotiating. Why must we waste our time? Why must we waste our time? Close your borders as African countries. Do your food, do your minerals, do your processings. Process your things. If Britain and America don't want to deal with you, find other partners in UEA, in China, in India. Sell your things there, and better still, sell your things amongst each other as Africans. Create your own nuclear warheads. Secure your ports and your borders and your seas. Develop your own stock exchange spaces, where you as Africans can have direction as to what to do with your resources. We cannot negotiate with colonizers. We cannot negotiate. We cannot negotiate with colonizers. We will not negotiate. There's no better way of taking land from a colonizer than taking the land. That's it. Full stop. You take what belongs to me, I will take it back. You take my car, when I find it, I will take it my car back. No, I put Meg wheels and I put a radio when I stole your car. So please pay for my radio and pay for my Meg wheels. You must be sick in your head. Sick in your head. You deprived me of the opportunity of using my own car when you stole the car. Why must I pay you for stealing my car? That is the same illustration we find. And Chingono, with that kind of brain, you're the kind of man who will go to your neighbor and ask him to come and make your wife pregnant. You must be sick. You must be sick. Land is valuable to us as Africans. This is our first wife, the land. And anyone who wants to make my wife pregnant, oh hell no. You have to go through me. You have to kill me first. You got to kill me first before you can sleep with my wife. You have to go through me to have access to my resources, because these resources are not for us. Land does not belong to us. It belongs to the next generation. And I hope with those few words, every African child who is born on this land, both locally and in diaspora, African is your continent. This is our land. We do not negotiate with colonizers over ownership of what rightfully belongs to us. I thank you.